kind of brings us on to the point. Starfield, we both think is not going to get nominated, despite what Carl's saying right here, and probably what a couple of other people are saying.
Shouldn't be nominated.
Yes.
I think... So here's the thing. The real question is it going to be a fair list?
Yeah.
Are the nominations going to be about what were the best games? If they are, I don't think Starfield should be nominated. But the question is, will it be? Maybe.
I'm going to do something that my head is telling me not to do.
Okay.
I'm going to have faith.
Okay.
I'm going to have faith that it's not going to turn out that way. Cool. That they're not going to nominate, because even the critic reviews were coming out and it's like, all right, there was like, a handful of Xbox outlets that were like, 10 out of 10, this is the best game ever made. Yeah. It's got the Xbox Studios logo on it. Of course it's the best game ever made.
The best.
Don't worry about what's in the game. It says Xbox Studios right there. That's what matters, okay, guys? So it's the best. And Todd Howard, he's the best thing since sliced bread. And yeah, okay, the engine's pretty dated and everything they've done is pretty dated inside it, but that's because that's how it was supposed to be. It was intended to be crap. So
yeah, people like these kinds of games. Okay?
Exactly. But I don't think those are the guys that are going to be actually doing the judging. And I think the people that are doing the judging, if there's one outlier that goes, yeah, Starfield for sure, it's not going to matter because it's an average at the end of the day and it's like tallies. So if there's 5 people that say Starfield, out of the 25 people, that doesn't make a difference in there. And even if it does get nominated, it's not going to win Game of the Year, because
I think there's no way it reasonably wins Game of the Year
with everything else that's come out this year, as well as it being a hard year to win Game of the Year for anybody. It's not even close to some of the contenders that we mentioned right here. So here's the thing. Some people believe that Starfield should get nominated, at least nominated.
Disagree, but yeah.
Because Xbox have had such a bad run at video games.
That's not how making good games works.
Exactly. And this is their first, connect with the ball in terms of baseball. It's like, it's been swing and a miss, swing and a miss, swing and a miss. And they're Jimmy here this time.
Yeah. He hit the ball, the guy behind him caught it, but they're like, just run anyway. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
And some people believe it for that reason.
Yeah.
Some people are blind and they think that this is the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah. And they think that Baldur's Gate and Spider-Man and Hogwarts Legacy and Jedi Survivor, all these other games are shit, which is just crazy talk.
Yeah.
But there are people that think that they should get this because they've done something good for once. I don't think you guys deserve any conversation in gaming. I think you deserve any conversation in anything.
Something good for once. That wasn't what Starfield was.
Yeah.
What
it is something competent, something that at least turns on, something that has a story built into it. Exactly.
Yeah. At best it's middle of the pack. It is literally mid.
It didn't Redfall.
No.
It didn't out of the gate be so broken like Cyberpunk to warrant so much hate towards it.
Yeah.
It was just I don't feel like I missed out by not playing that.
No.
Okay, continue. Goodbye.
Now, I have more faith that we live in a corpo dystopian future where Microsoft's going to pay every single one of these judges and they're all going to say, it's not my game of the year, but Starfield's got to be on the list. And it's going to be in there.
Should we put a bet down for this?
What do you want to bet? Starfield gets nominated. What's the bet?
I'm hoping that this year we
Well, if you win Humanity is Intact, we have a future. We go out to the stars, we colonize Mars.
I'm hoping that this year, when it comes around to Conbrosations Day, we can do something a little bit better. We can do something in terms of this channel that revives and makes us feel great again and stuff like that. So when it comes to that day, where we normally split the pizza, you're paying for my side of it. So you buy the pizzas. Do we have an oral? And
I love the emphasis. I'm going to come.
Do we have an oral arrangement, sir?
Yeah, but we're shaking on it. So
and we had a physical arrangement as well.
It actually exists. Yeah, I'll put a pizza bet on it.
Cool.
And the thing is, there's no losing here. Because either you're right, and we don't live in a corpo dystopian reality, or you're wrong, and I don't have to pay for pizza. And we're still in a corporate dystopian. Like,
It's like, yeah, you're like, your pizza's like hollow
a
victory.
victory. Yeah. Oh, yay.
Did you see, there was
Man,
a
it feels good to be right. Yum, yum, yum.
there was a video I saw, and it was a TikTok video,
Yeah.
and a guy stitched with it. This female TikToker's like, use 2 fingers and then a thumb, and that equals pleasure. And the guy goes, huh. And then he picks up a pizza. And then he goes, I was dead, absolutely dead.
That's pretty funny.
Audio virgins, you're gonna have to go to the video to check
That's
that one out.
pretty
Unfortunately, orgasm. Anyway,
He's gonna come.
I'm gonna come, Guardian. Yeah, I just don't, and it's not out of any sort of hate. It's not any sort of.
I actually wanted Starfield
we
to
were
be on this
rooting
list.
for it, man. We were rooting for it.
And the thing is, our list isn't perfect games. Like
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy, definitely not perfect.
Yeah.
Got plenty of weak acting in there, plenty of weird artifacting and bugs, like
Weird types of gameplay stuff, like the Merlin trees we
Yeah.
said.
weird.
I
stuff.
mentioned it for Spider-Man as well, with those tokens and
Yeah, plenty of stuff that I
like,
don't.
they're good
like.
missions, but why make it so fucking lopsided at the end? of it?
Plenty of stuff like that, but it scratches an itch.
Yeah.
And all they had to do was that. Like we were really hopeful. Do you remember when we saw the inside of that spaceship? And we were like,
Yes.
how like big and bulky, like it feels astronauty and like
I think they're gonna make us feel like a space explorer.
yeah. Like I wanted it to be that. That's all they had to do. It didn't have to be good. It didn't even have to have like a great story. It just had to have like good characters and make me feel like I was exploring. That's all they had to do, and they didn't. And that's why it's not in. Not because it's an Xbox thing. I genuinely couldn't care less about that. It didn't deliver.
We even siloed this off. I mean, even though we made the argument that's like, because some people were saying, if this Starfield turns out to be a 10 out of 10 game, perfect, amazing, game of the generation thing, that means Xbox is back on track. And it's like, that doesn't.
That isn't what that
that's
means.
not what that means. That means that they made a great game here.
Yeah.
The rest of the studios are not attached to this game. They
No.
do not. They're nothing to this, and they're probably halfway through whatever development they've got.
Hopeful.
Is
though.
that gonna be hopeful?
And hopefully, and this is what I wanted. I wanted, well, for one, the SEC not to allow the purchase, but then for Starfield to do so well that they were like, people will buy our games if we make good games. Let's do some more of that.
That's what I wanted.
And we get back to like a golden age of like, Gears of War comes out and Halo, and then you're like, yeah, but you got God of War and Ghost of Tsushima and stuff. Do you know what I mean? They're going head to head.
So fucking good.
Doesn't that sound so good? That's the world I want to live in, right? And then split down the middle on anything you want. You're playing your Baldur's Gates, you're playing Elden Ring, Call of Duty, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the world I want to live in. I want to live in the world where I'm not only torn about what am I going to put my time into today, but also like, damn, I need to buy an Xbox because there's some stuff I can only play on an Xbox unless I want to wait a year or two for it to go to like Game Pass, because I have to buy it because that's the healthy model. I have to buy a PS5, 6, whatever it is down the line, because there's only some stuff there. I'll probably get a PC because there's some things that, well, why wouldn't you want to play it with these sorts of graphics or this sort of thing, right? Or these options, like Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be better to play on PC, right? Like, that's the world I want to live in. And I was kind of really genuinely hoping Starfield would kick that off and would kick off enough. If it was good enough and people were buying it enough that somebody could have said, do you know what, Phil? If we make more games like this, they'll buy them and they'll be happy about it.
That was the thing that I really needed.
They'll be happy about it. We can do the Game Pass for like the library of stuff, what everybody talks about, but like the new stuff, the bangers. Like we can say, look, if you want more of these, we're going to have to switch models to make more like this, and they'll eat it up. Imagine. And then Phil goes, well, we got $70 billion burning a hole in our pocket. Get me some ideas.
Do you know what?
do you know what? I'm greenlighting the first 10 ideas you give me. Let's get them going.
That's actually the biggest crime that this game didn't achieve.
I know.
That caused or whatever. Because had it been amazing, had it set the world on fire, it would have completely turned the ship around from that stupid comment that Phil Spencer made, saying that good games don't sell consoles.
ridiculous.
Fuck, absolutely. So don't try. That's essentially, well, that's the only bit that was missing from his sentence.
Yeah.
That's the real crime that Starfield didn't. Starfield being mid, genuinely middle of the pack. That's the real crime, right
Aggressively
there.
okay.
That's the real crime, that it didn't set the fucking heads of Xbox straight to be like, make great games. No, no buts. No buts.
We had it wrong.
Make great games.
Imagine someone walks into that boardroom and Phil's finishing up saying, and so that's why we're not making good games. And they go, sorry, Phil, I just got the sales numbers. Starfield was so good that we sold this many. We made this much money. And you know how PlayStation dominating because of the games that we've dissected over and over again? Well, this game did that for us. And yeah, we'll have to play catch up this generation. But if we set ourselves up, we can actually be on par or like closing in next gen with like some IP, some brand new IPs. We can revive some old IPs. We're just going to follow this recipe, or we'll follow this recipe for the things where it's appropriate, and we'll copy their homework on some other ones. Like, not going to. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but like they've got Indiana Jones, rip off Uncharted.
Yeah.
Uncharted just ripped off the movies anyway. Like, just rip them off. Just do it. Just copy the homework, please, seriously, and then give me what would be like give me a night version of Ghost of Tsushima. Do you know what I mean?
A night version.
You know what I mean, like a night, like a,
I see what you mean.
Sword fighting night.
Lords of Fallen. I think that's a night game. It's more like a Souls game actually, but it's got a night in it.
Ghost of what's something nightly?
So Camelot.
Ghost of Camelot. Ghost of Lionheart, isn't there? Like Richard Lionheart. Yeah, that's a real brer. Freaking like rip it off. Copy their homework. Just don't make it too obvious. You know, make sure you put your name on it at the top. Like Starfield. I'm not putting this on Starfield as a negative towards Starfield. I'm saying that's, to be clear, I'm not saying like that's what I was judging Starfield against. That's what Starfield could have done for us. And it just came out. This is old, but for those of you that remember going from Black Ops to Modern Warfare 3, from Modern Warfare 2 with the mic system, they just used the same mic system, and it moved on 2 years, and the quality was so much better. That's all they did, is they made the next one in their line. They made Fallout 77, except it's in space. That's all they did. And it's not Bethesda's job to save Xbox. It's not Bethesda's job to like save gaming. But had they come out with what was effectively, you know, a Hogwarts Legacy in terms of the scratching that itch, or, you know, in our wildest dreams, a Baldur's Gate 3 in space, they actually might have saved X. Do you know what I mean? Like they could have started
saved
the argument.
Xbox, saved gaming in general.
Getting that snowball
afterwards.
rolling.
Exactly.
And then Xbox goes, hold on, let's look at where we were when we were competitive. Oh yeah, we had Halo with the Master Chief. 343 what didn't exist. Let's make them not exist. We had Gears of War, and it was good. You know, like there was stuff you could only play on Xbox.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck, but we need to transition away from this model that doesn't make us any money anyway. We're losing money on, what was their break even again for Game Pass?
It used to be 50, but then they went, if they have to reach their more recent thing in the court documents, they want to reach 100 million by 2027
for break even.
That's their goal, to say like, okay, this is worth pursuing and whatnot. It might be that's the level of profit that they'll get to. They'll be like, okay, continue going with this. 100 million subscribers. Last recorded number 25 million.
After 7 years, no, 5 years.
I think it's 5 years. Something like that.
It's 5-6 years. Drop it, man. It's not working. You're not getting there. Like, obviously their target was to do this in 10 years. They're 5 or 6 in, and they're nowhere close. And we know for a fact they've gone backwards at least twice. In recent years, they were up at 28 and then slid back. Like, had this been a Baldur's Gate 3 in space, they might have gone, do you know what? We're capable of this, but we're putting our resources in all these weird places. $200 million or whatever it is to get something on day one that hardly anyone plays and doesn't make us any money and we lose money, or $200 million to a studio to make something that people will buy at. And you know what? If they're determined to win on price, keep the games at 50. keep the current modern standard and just keep it 50. Go, look, maybe Sony wants you to pay 70, but we'll
I was gonna say that's a fucking good strategy.
that is a play.
It's
you got to pay the same for the thing, but
It
over
lights
the
a-
life of the console.
that lights a fire under Sony. That lights a fire under
Absolutely.
Sony. You're making them expensive, we're making them cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I
Now,
mean,
I will say that I can see downsides to that as well.
it still has the
But-
same negative things to like developers,
But this is where
publishers,
they
stuff
can
like that.
compete.
Because while we're talking about Sony,
Yeah.
it also affects every third party as well. And they're like, we can't sell it for that price.
Yeah. But also, like, if they're going to pay 200 million to get a game on Game Pass day one,
Yeah.
they can make up the difference to the company to sell it at like quote unquote a loss.
Yeah.
Right? To get people on the platform using it, even if it's just people are more enticed to use their Xbox, so that they use Netflix on their Xbox and they make their money on the back end of that, or they do their
Yeah.
microtransactions through Fortnite. Like, that's still worth it. Like, there are so many ways they could make this work that aren't what they're doing that are good. And I would also argue that while it would suck to then have to Sony to be like, well, our games need to be 70, sorry, right? I'm okay with that. And also with the current quality, like, frankly, Starfield doesn't deserve to be a $70 game. It's not worth 70. But I could see people getting it for 50 if it had been, you know, really, let's say, just good, and going, yeah, this is good, you know. I really wanted another golden age.
I know, bro. I know. We were so close, and
We could have been there. We believe their hype.
we're in. It sucks to think of where we are now. We're in the era of consolidation, buying and locking away games from other people, and PlayStation are now making multiplayer games. What kind of fucking world are we living in right now? Everything's upside down. It's all so shit.
Yeah. Well,
The only thing I will
great games coming out.
the only thing I will say about PlayStation, at least with the live games, is at least we haven't seen what they've done yet. We suspect it's not going to work out because we're very much into our story games. But at least let them bring it out, and then we go, "I told you so."
Absolutely. Like, it's just, look. I'm happy. I'd really like to be wrong about it.
Yeah,
I'd love for Sony to come out and make a couple of like multiplayer games that mean that when Xbox takes or Microsoft takes COD away, that actually don't need to worry. And then Xbox are going to be forced to go, oh, look, we tried to outpay for stuff. It isn't working. They just keep making better games than what we've got. The only thing we have left is to make good games.
Yeah.
That's not going to be what happens, though. So they're going to shit the bed with the multiplayer, almost certainly.
Yeah. That's most likely.
Unless they bring out the duels in Ghost of Tsushima 2. Then, oh yeah, I need to start my propaganda campaign against the devs. That reminds me.
You need to do that because they're going to announce that surely soon, right? Surely.
It doesn't matter if they announce it or not. I don't care if it's in the works or not. They're still getting I'm going to start a terror campaign.
They even like
I'm gonna
showed the
connect with them
trailer.
on
And they're
LinkedIn,
like, anyway, let's move on, bro. That was a very good
Yeah.
discussion. Appreciate it.